I get more motivated by fear though, right? So this next question hit a lot harder for me and got me more motivated and inspired to go out and get my master's degree. Who pays the price if you don't follow through on this goal? What is going on, YouTube, and welcome back to another NYAD podcast. I am your host, Bryce Dettorre, and in today's video, we're going to talk about why you need to get clear with your goals. So if you watched last week's video, I broke down basically the three things you need to do to ensure that you achieve your goals for 2026. However, I had a couple people reach out asking if I could elaborate a little bit more on each task. So that's what I'm going to do in this one. I'm going to break down the getting clear on your goals, which was step number 1 in last week's video. So let's get into it. Now, most people, like I said, the average person will not fail because of lack of discipline. They're chasing goals that they're not even clear about. They're chasing goals that they have no clue. They're, like I said before, the average person will aim at nothing and they hit it every single time. They say things, for instance, like, I want more, I want to be better, and I want to change my life. But there's no clear cut, what does more look like? What does better look like? And what does a changed life look like to you? But when you have clarity, that's what turns desire into direction. So today's video, I'm going to break down how exactly you can get clear, crystal clear, with each and every one of your goals. Step by step, so you don't have to do what the average person does and just go drifting on with no purpose at all. But instead, now you're going to start moving with purpose. So why exactly does clarity matter? Well, clarity matters because you can't hit a target that you can't see. When your goals are vague, you want to think of it as your effort becomes vague. Your effort becomes inconsistent because, again, you don't know what you're aiming at. And inconsistency kills all momentum. So clarity does 3 things. 1, it removes decision fatigue. So it's like when you go to a restaurant and, for instance, BJ's. I love BJ's. The only thing I do not like about BJ's is the menu is ginormous. So I don't know if I want a burger. I don't know if I want a pizza. I don't know if I want steak. I don't know if I want a chicken sandwich. There's so much variety. I can't be clear on what I want. And then I get what's called decision fatigue. By the end of it, I'm going back and forth. I don't even know what I want to eat. I end up wanting to leave just because there's so much fatigue. If there's no clarity, as opposed to you go to In-N-Out, there's not that many options. You're very clear. There's no decision fatigue, and you enjoy your meal a little bit better. It also increases your commitment, and it creates focus. Again, back to focusing on one thing that you are going towards. So if you want consistency, you're going to need clarity first. You got to define the result, not just the desire. See, most people stop at desire. The average person will stop at desire. High performers will define what their results look like. Instead of saying, I want to get into shape, you need to ask yourself, what does in shape actually mean? Because in shape is kind of subjective. It all depends on what it is exactly. In shape might be dropping 20 pounds and you still may be over 250 pounds, but that's in shape to you. In shape to someone else might be dropping 20 pounds so that you could get to 10% body fat. What does in shape look like to you? How much do you weigh when you're in shape? How do you feel when you're in shape? Do you have energy? Are you excited? Do you wake up in the morning? Do you sleep better? What can you physically do when you're in shape? Can you run a mile? Can you do a bodybuilding show? Can you play with your kids throughout the night because you're not tired and you're in shape? Again, this is something that you're going to have to answer yourself. So I would write your goal like this. By certain date, so for instance, by September 1st of 2026, I am, say in the present, I am now 200 pounds with 5% body fat, and I feel amazing and have plenty of energy to play with my daughter. You see how crystal clear that is? As opposed to the average person will say, I want to get into shape. Know your shape. Clarity creates accountability, even when no one else is watching. If you want to take it even a step farther, what I do is I get my boy Chat to get involved in this. Chat GPT. I will go on Chat GPT. I will explain, hey, I want to lose this amount of weight. Could you put this into a SMART goal? He'll break it down, put it in a SMART goal. Awesome. Now could you write a very descriptive paragraph of what exactly it will look like, what exactly it will sound like, what exactly I will see when I'm fulfilled this. And then they'll break it down to the point where you can step into it. And then I would recommend reading that every single morning and every single night before you go to bed. That is what high performers do. Next step you got to do is you got to connect it to a very deep why. You hear this all the time. What's your why? Hip Hop Preacher became famous with it because he was always like, know your why, and going on and on. And there's some truth to it. It's in a lot of the books I've read. They always say, why exactly are you doing this? You got to get clear on your why. Because a goal without meaning won't survive discomfort, because there's going to be discomfort of whatever goal it is, whether it's going back to school to get your master's degree, whether it's getting in better shape, whether it's starting your own business, whether it's starting having a good, healthy relationship with your spouse. It's all going to require getting uncomfortable. But if your goal does not connect to something emotional, your family, your future, your self-respect, you'll quit the moment it gets tough. Trust me, because that's what the average person does. The world is filled with average people who have quit multiple times because it got hard and they had no why with emotion behind it. So your action step, you got to ask yourself, why does this matter? Why does it matter that I weigh 200 pounds with 10% body fat? Why does it matter that I go back to school and get my master's degree? When I went back to school to get my master's degree, I sat down and I wrote out 100 reasons why I wanted to get my master's degree. The first 10 were very easy. Boom, boom. I just shot them off. I want to make more money. I want to be the first one with my master's degree. I want to set an example for my daughter. I want to become a better teacher. These were all things that, boom, I was able to shoot off right off the bat. It wasn't until I got to about 20 that it got very difficult and I had to really, really think of everything of why I wanted to do that. It took me a very long time. It was not just one sitting. It took me like about a week, maybe 2 weeks to finally fill that 100. And then every time I thought about, why am I even doing this? This isn't worth it. Why am I sacrificing time with my daughter, trying to go back to school? This is stupid. I'd go back to my list and I'd look at all 100 reasons why. And some of them got me very emotional. Who benefits if you follow through with this? That was another main reason why I wanted to get my master's degree, is there was a lot of people, including myself and my wife and daughter, would benefit from this. I get more motivated by fear though, right? So this next question hit a lot harder for me and got me more motivated and inspired to go out and get my master's degree. Who pays the price if you don't follow through on this goal? That one got me. That one got me good, because I was like, if my daughter ever talks about doing something hard and then I tell her like, oh, you know, I thought about getting my master's, but I didn't because it got tough, or we're in a financial bind because I didn't go back to school. These were all things that were going through my head. So I got more motivated by the question of who pays the price if you don't? Who, not what, who pays the price? Again, I get very motivated by my family. So I always try to tie them in somehow to my goal. And if the why doesn't move you emotionally, if you don't get fired up, if you don't get scared, if you don't get afraid, then you got to rewrite your goal, because it's not the right goal for you. And then now you got to turn the goal into daily action. Goals fail when they stay abstract. They succeed when you turn them into daily behavior. And the good thing is you don't need to focus on the entire year. You just got to focus on today. You don't have to focus on tomorrow. You don't have to focus on yesterday. You got to focus on right now, today. So action step, ask yourself, what is one thing, just one thing that I could do daily that will move me closer to my goal? One thing each day. And then, what does success look like today? One thing I could do today, I can make sure that I drink a lot of water. What does success look like? Drinking 5 bottles of water. What's one daily action I could do today? Make sure I stick to my meal plan. What does success look like? I do not cheat on my meal plan. Those are questions that you need to be asking yourself daily. And when daily actions are clear, motivation becomes optional. And this is a common mistake that you need to avoid, because the average person will do it. They'll get super fired up. January 1st, they'll write down their goals. They'll place them, they get all excited because they wrote them down, or they'll create a vision board. But then they don't look at their goals. They don't look at their vision board. It's not somewhere that they could see every single day. Clarity isn't a one-time event. It's not like you do it at January 1st and you expect it to be there and accomplished by December, at the end of the year. You have to be very clear and see it every single day. I would recommend every single day, at least once a week. You should sit down, maybe Sunday night, and revisit what exactly it is that you want to accomplish in this year. What does it look like, and why do I want to do it? And then look at it visually. Create a picture of what that looks like. Because I honestly think it should be something you look forward to. It should kind of get you the goosies flowing, because you're excited that you get to sit down and see this life that you are going to create. If you're not getting excited about it, they're not the right goals for you. And if you don't review your goals, trust me, life will replace them with plenty of distractions. Eliminate distractions, review your goals. So in closing, as we wrap up this video, so if you want this year to be different than last year or the year before that, you have to move with clarity. Not hype, not motivation, but clarity. Define the result, connect the why. Why exactly are you doing this? Define what it looks like when you accomplish it, and then you gotta commit to daily action. And that my friends, is how goals stop being ideas and start becoming a reality. If this message helped you out in any way, you don't have to go about this next year by yourself. I have created a community with like-minded individuals, husbands and fathers, all trying to get better. The community is called NYAD. It stands for Not Your Average Dad. If you're looking to join that, become a part of the brotherhood. The link is in the description. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Comment below how you are going to get crystal clear on your goals, and I would even write it down if you want to take that extra step and do what the average person won't do. Put it out into the universe, put it in the comments, what exactly you're going to do in 2026. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because every Monday I'm coming out with new videos, Monday motivation, and then you guys already know the motto. Stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I'll catch you guys next Monday.